Good morning. I'm hosting Coffee with Bob today. Now, on Monday night, I went outside, like many of you, to see the Christmas star. Now, we know it wasn't actually a star, but rather two planets, Jupiter and Saturn. And because of their different orbital paths, they happen to cross and give the appearance that they're growing closer together. Now, they're not actually close together. They're roughly 456 million miles apart. But across the dome of our Earth sky, these two individual lights grow closer together. It's called a conjunction. When any two planets or celestial bodies where their paths cross each other, it's called a conjunction. When Jupiter and Saturn do it, it's called the Great Conjunction because there are two largest planets in the Earth's sky. And every 20 years or so, there will be a Great Conjunction where Jupiter and Saturn's orbits cause them to appear close together in our night sky. Now, every 20 years or so, when this happens, they still appear as individual entities. But on very rare occasions, we have what we had on Monday night, where they're so close together as to appear as one bright star in the sky. The last time they were this close and we were able to see it was in the year 1226, 800 years ago. So this really was a special event. Another time that it occurred was in 7 BCE. And this is why it earned the name the Christmas star. Now, we know a little bit about the possible date of the birth of Christ, and it has to do with Herod the Great. Herod the Great died in 4 BCE, and he was a major player in connection to the birth of Christ, because we know that sometime before Herod the Great died, sometime before 4 BCE, wise men from the east came to him and said, "We have seen a great star in the sky, and we know that this is the symbol of the birth of the Christ child. We've studied, they knew the ancient texts and prophecies." So they go to Herod and say, "Where's the one who was born King of the Jews? We have seen his star and we've come to worship him." Well, tragically, Herod the Great, because he was an evil, mean, terrible person, he ordered the deaths of all male babies, male children, 2 years old and under. And so scholars believe that Christ was born somewhere around 6 BCE. And a year earlier or so, when the star appeared in the night sky, the wise men would have seen it and led them to Herod. That's the possible reason. It's a possibility that Jupiter and Saturn were the great event in the sky that led the wise men to find the Christ child, and hence the name, the Christmas star. Now, it happened in 7 BCE. It happened again in 1226. It happened in the 1600s, but it wasn't a vantage point where we could see it. And so this is a very rare, special event. It happened this year because of scientific reasons. The differences in the orbits of Jupiter around the sun and Saturn around the sun and our orbit, and somehow this year was the perfect kind of alignment and gave this rare occasion. There are scientific reasons it happened this year. But for me, I'm just going to take it as a wonderful gift. 2020 has been a difficult year, and what a wonderful reminder as this year draws to a close. It was something that sent me outside looking up into the heavens and seeing this star that reminded me of something the wise men must have seen, something that drew them to worship Christ. For me, it's a great reminder that a light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Come, Lord Jesus. Have a very Merry Christmas.